Hi, this is Rachelle with Journal Life's Journey, and I am back to work on the soft cover fall journal that I started. So you saw the video where I did the cover and then the video where I did these inside panels. I'll link to those in the iCard up above and in the description box below in case you missed it, so you can go check it out. So now I want to make some inserts. I have a general idea of the type of inserts I want to make, and I'm still using that one paper pad that was sent to me in Happy Mail. I really want to use as much of that as I can, so I pulled this sheet, and I also printed. If you didn't know, I designed printable inserts, so I printed these inserts. They're completely blank monthly inserts, but there's 13 months worth in here. So I printed them front and back, and I went ahead and folded them. That brings them down to 5.5 by 8.5. Then I have this 12 by 12 sheet. It's just going to be barely enough. I'm going to make it a folder. So the cover for this will be a folder that wraps around, and it'll have a pocket in it. So I'm going to use my beat up old scoreboard. It's on its last legs to score this. I guess I need to take this in the kitchen and wash it up. All right, so I want my flower to be on the front cover, so it's going to be on this side. Unfortunately, the other flower is going to end up on the back pocket, but it can't be helped. So I'm going to take my score tool. First off, this is 12 inches. I'm going to score in the middle at 6 inches. This is our spine. Then I'm going to score on either end at 1/2 inch. Now these measurements are for, that's going to cut off something. Now this paper isn't quite 12 inches either. So I'm going to flip it around and score at 1/2 inch on the other side. I guess it doesn't matter. They're both the same. So these tabs will help make the pocket and also reinforce the sides of the cover. I'm going to turn this to the side, the other side. This is my front cover. I'm just going to use this as the front cover. My printables are 8.5 in height. I think I'm going to go 8 5/8. So slightly taller, just a hair. And so that is everything I need to score. Let's go ahead and start the trimming and folding. All right, so I'm going to fold this up, and this folds in half. And I am going to cut out a small triangular piece here so that it reduces the bulk and gapping when I fold it. Did I make it all the way? No. So I'm cutting just barely the score line off up to where the other score line intersects. Okay. There we go. So this is the shape that we have so far. I'm going to go ahead and fold the side pieces in. This is basically the same way that you make a folder for a traveler's notebook. This is basically the same thing. So these two bottom tabs I don't need, so I'm going to trim those off at the score line or right outside of the score line, and then miter the long tab. So that's going to go like that, or it could go like this, however you want it to look. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Let's go ahead and start burnishing those pieces. I'm deciding, do I want the flap to be over the top or underneath? I think I want it to be underneath. burnish, burnish, burnish. All right, let's see how it fits on here. All right, so we got some page creep, which I expected to happen. I'll probably trim off that page creep. Page creep happens especially with paper that's heavier weight. This is 32-pound paper. As you put the pieces together, stack them on each other, if you see there, it pushes the next page out further and further. So the more pages you have, the further out it's going to push the paper. Sometimes you can just ignore that. Say if I was going to put some lace on the edge, which I could, but since this is like a planner, I don't think I'll do that. What would have been good is if I would have a bigger piece of paper and I would have been able to make it bigger, but I can't make it bigger because it's only 12 by 12. Okay. Other than that, it's going to fit fine. So I'm just going to take a pencil and mark where I need to trim and decide, do I want to trim it now or wait? I think I want to trim it now. I hope I'm making the right decision. Okay, so I need a metal ruler. Hopefully you can hear me. The mic situation when I'm using my webcam is not ideal, which is why I tend to do a lot of voiceovers, because I'm never sure if the mic is working. Okay, so I'm going to use my box cutter, metal ruler, cutting mat. Cutting mat's from the Dollar Tree. Box cutter is from Office Depot. And just make light strokes, not trying to cut through the whole thing at one time. This looks like this ruler is crooked, but it may just be the angle. Just firmly holding the ruler in place. And starting beyond the paper helps make sure that you cut that edge. Okay. So that is cut. Let's see how it fits now. That's better. It's still a little wonky though. But I'm not going to press it. Okay. So that's how you take care of that. And I guess I'm going to stitch these in. Normally I would just staple it, but because of the style of journal that I'm making, I'm not going to stitch it. Or I could try something new and try brads. Maybe we'll try some brads to bind it. That way, if you want to keep the cover and reuse the cover, all you have to do is open the brads and remove the brads to take the inserts out and replace them. Now, I'm considering, do I want to make this double pockets? That'll also make the cover stronger if I make double pockets. I could use some of these cut aparts for that. Or I could go ahead and use this piece. It's so bright though. Let me see what that looks like. Now we're getting down to the end of this pad. The adhesive is really wanting to hold onto the paper. It's not wanting to let go. Let me trim that part off. What I would do is cut down my paper to fit in here. It would fit inside. Like that's too shiny, isn't it? I'm gonna do it because, like I said, I want to use the paper. So let me go ahead and mark where I need to cut. And then I'm gonna go go to my trimmer and cut this. All right, so I have trimmed down the paper, and I guess I need to find the center and score that. I'm going to score it from this side. So we're going to say 11 inches is what it is. So half of 11 is 5.5. It's slightly smaller than 11 inches. All right. So we're going to fold this in half. Try to line it up as best as possible. And that is going to slide in here and give us an additional pocket, a larger pocket. Just make sure everything will still fold properly once it's in place. It might, no, I don't think I need to trim it down anymore. Yeah, I got a little gapping right there. See that? So I'm going to take a slither off on both sides. Hopefully this will fit in here, so I don't have to go to the other paper trimmer. Let's see if that fits a little better. And just checking to see if my mic is working better. Maybe I'm too quiet. One day I'll get this mic situation figured out. All right. I think that fits in there a little bit better. Is it too tall too? Yep, it's too tall too. So I'm going to have to take a slither off the top as well. The fold kind of pushes the paper up a little bit, so I need to adjust for that. Let's check that before I put it away. Let's take off some more. It doesn't have to go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to take off a little bit more, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I just don't want it to peek out over the top. So let's take some more. And I think that should do it. So it's not actually that peeking out, it's the paper on the other side. So I'll just slide this up a little. And hopefully when I glue it in place, it'll be straight. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my punch to put a thumb notch in this. Find the center, which is there. Get out my 1.5 inch punch. All right, let's see. See if I can punch through this doubled. I don't know why I'm pushing this, but just line it up. Oh, it did work. Okay. I didn't think it was going to be strong enough to punch through the double layers of cardstock. So then we get this. And I'm going to ink. Should I ink it? I don't think so. If I want to, I can come back and do it later. But I am going to round these corners a little bit. Let's use the small rounder. Well, the medium. I like the medium better. And then I'm going to round the corners of this top tab. I can get that in there. Now, So we got the pieces. We got our double pocket piece. We got our actual pocket pieces. Now I need to decide how I'm going to treat this for sure. So I'm going to miter it slightly. Like so. And then that could go like that. That could go like that. So what happens there is, if I hadn't done that, if I just glue this to this or this to this, I'm going to have to glue this down, then glue this to that. You'll lose a little, that 1/2 inch of space. By mitering it, once I glue this to this, you'll still have that 1 inch or 1/2 inch of space in the pocket. This will be glued down. So let's do that. I kind of probably do this different every time that I do it, but this is the basics. I used to measure these miters, but not anymore. I just eyeball it. All right, so let's first line up our pocket on the inside to where we want it to be so that it's not peeking out. Let's see. And it's going to fold properly. I'm going to put a paper clip on it to hold it in place. Okay. There's that. Now, let's go ahead and glue these top flaps in place. I'm running out of glue here. I need to refill that. So that'll be held in the proper position. To this side. Okay. So then for these two tabs, we'll glue the pockets to those. So here. And here. Now I did inking on everything else on the journal. I'm not sure if I'm going to ink this again because it's kind of like a planner thing. So I don't know. I don't think I want to ink it. Let's see if everything still folds properly. I probably should ink it because you see, I don't know if you can see all that white. I don't know how I feel about that. And then this is a little bit crooked for whatever reason. So I don't know. Let's burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay. Then this goes on here like so. Do I want to risk using brads? And we got more page creep because I added more bulk to the cover, so it's creeping a little bit more. I don't think I want to risk the brads on this. This is a little thick. So I am going to just do a regular 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I think that would be better. And let's go ahead and clip these in place. There's still going to be a little creep on this. Okay. All right. So let me get my sewing supplies and I'll stitch this one together. All right. So I'm going to use this thin bookbinding thread. I don't use this often. It came with my bookbinding kit. So I'm going to cut off 3 lengths of it. It's a cotton thread, I think. And then I have my ratty old pincushion. And which needle do I want to use? I think I'm going to use this one. It has kind of a big eye on it though. But let's try the one with the little eye. See what happens. Okay. So let's thread this up. There we go. All right. Next, I need to mark where I want to punch my holes. So I'm going to line the ruler up centered. So there. I'm going to mark in the center. And normally I would do half of what between each end and the center. But because this is a little bigger, I'm just going to go 1 1/4 inches from the top. So 1 1/4 inches from the top or bottom. All right, so I got my 3 holes where I'm going to punch or poke. I got my pokey tool here, and I'm going to start in this. Let's make sure everything is lined up the way I want it with the cover. And then I'm just going to poke straight through with the paper at an angle, like that. Then I'm going to do it again on the other 2 holes. And hopefully those holes will be big enough for my needle to go through without struggling. All right, so I want my tails to be on the inside, so I'm going to start on the inside, going through, hold my tail, come back through that top hole, go all the way down to the bottom. There's lots of tutorials on how to do this. If I am not explaining it well, I struggle with it because, I almost pulled my whole thread out. Let me pull that back. I struggle with it. It's like my least favorite part of making journals. All right, and then the trick when you go back through that center hole is that you don't split the thread. If you split the thread, then you won't be able to tighten it properly. I don't think I split the thread with my needle. So everything is coming through. Now I'm going to even these tails up. Did I split the thread? No, I did not. Okay. Okay, pull that tight. We want those to be tight outside. Okay, not too tight, because if I pull, especially with this thread, if I pull too tight, then it will cut right through the paper. So it was left over right, right over left, whatever that is, I don't know. And then you can put a little dot of glue. I'm going to just tie a little bow for now, just to make sure everything is, I got stickers stuck on me, just to make sure everything is right, and then I'll trim it up later. Okay, so then we can take the paper clips off, and that is done for now until I touch it up. Just burnish that fold. Did I put the papers in there upside down? No. Also, make sure you put in the papers in the right direction. I didn't even check, but I got lucky that time, and they are going in the right direction. Okay, let's pop this in here and see what it looks like. I think this will be on the first elastic. And how is that? It's going to be a little tight in there, but I think we can do this. Maybe I'll move this to another elastic, and I'll put another insert on the front because this is a little heftier than the other inserts I plan to put in. So I think I'm going to make a small junk journal to go in here too. But either way, it would fit on that first string too. So I'll probably put the junk journal next to this one here on this elastic. So we'll do that in another video. So that fits in there nicely. You got a pocket here, and you have a big pocket here, and I may put something in those big pockets, and then a big pocket here. So you got lots of storage room, store your stickers or whatever you use for your calendar here. And I may add some stickers in there. That might be nice. We'll see. So that is how you can make an insert using a printable and make a calendar for your notebook or your junk journal or however you're using it. I just kind of wanted this to be more functional and less of a lookbook. So it has lookbook features, but it also is functional. So you have a calendar, you have a notebook or a journal here that you can use. And I'm going to do something to secure this more because I don't like that if I pick it up like this, it'll slide. So I'm going to do something to secure that a little bit more. I have an idea. So, okay, that's it for now. I hope you're enjoying this. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I will holler at y'all next time. Bye.